Shalom, giving all praises and endure to our power, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shah, Ba'ashem, Rachak, Wadash, double honors, to the apostles, the bishops, and the elders of Great Millstone, peace and blessings to the whole elect of the tabernacles of David, scattered throughout the four corners of the earth, and wherever you may be, Shalom, Yashua, Shalom, hold on, turn this, Shalom,
Rich man
turn
Joseph,
the background down a little bit, so a little bit more, I should say, because I turn it down. I shouldn't be too loud. So, as we constantly do, we watch the news and things of that nature, to see what's going on. And I saw this here. It's a little 9-minute video. Haven't even watched it yet because I was just on that comment board there from the elders still going live. But so I did jump in it. You know how you do. You grab the little red line and just jump in it somewhere. So I jumped in it and actually heard something interesting here. The title here is Peru cyber attack. Then it says also EU blackout and more Signalgate weekly news. And then I saw this after some other. That was a news clip. I think I saved it because I don't see if I collect some more news. But I saw something similar talking about that, and then I saw this, and I jumped to this. So I'm gonna play this real quick. Let me crank up the volume. Okay, we're up. So. Okay, let me play.
Even though there are not many details about this incident, hackers seem to have launched an attack on their system. Apparently, the IT staff noticed the attempt and quickly restricted the internet access. Meanwhile, the shops continue to operate as usual, even though some customers have already expressed issues with payments online. I'll keep an eye on how this incident unfolds, though at first glance, it appears far more contained than the chaos over at Marks and Spencer, which, by the way, also has another small update today. Last week, I reported that Bleeping Computer speculated that Marks and Spencer was the target of a hacker group known as Scattered Spider. According to their reports, the group had been lurking in the company's systems since February, without anybody suspecting it. Shocking. Though not so much when you consider Marks and Spencer's neglected infrastructure and underpaid IT staff. In any case, the latest update indicates that the chaos is still unfolding. Shelves in grocery stores are mysteriously empty, and employees can't find anything in the system, which, to be fair, is a frequent human experience even without a cyber attack. Marks and Spencer...
I'm glad I looked at this because this is... Okay, so I actually want to jump through this video. Let me see if I can get... I'm going to jump back up to this 30-second mark, which is at the beginning of the video. It says Peru cyber attacks, but that's about. And we're also going to jump into probably the 429 mark, where it says Spain and Portugal blackout update, which I can probably just research that myself, but since it's in this video, we'll check it out. Yeah, we'll check those out and probably just call it a quick hit. So let's just run it back right now. I guess we'll start right there.
I went ahead and collected a fresh pile of news. Might as well make your bouncing between social media tabs feel somewhat productive. Let's dive right in. Kicking off the news with a bit of cybercrime, looks like the llama-controlled nation of Peru had its government system hacked by a Russian-linked gang, Reseda. While the government of this alleged camelid nation claims no such attack occurred, and its website was just under maintenance, Reseda seems to be offering the fresh batch of stolen data for anybody with $488,000 in spare change or 5 Bitcoin lying around.
Now, you might think this is just random. Like, it doesn't matter who has a blackout here, who has a blackout there, some cyber attack here, some bank problem there. All right, this is all going to be more fuel to the fire of reasons why Esau is going to say, hey, we need a digital system. All right, we need to be able to do this and do this and that. We have to track this and track this and track that. And ultimately, they will, but the ultimate end game is to track you. All right, these different things like this. All right, because we speak often about an EMP attack. All right, those things are going to be that reset button to the digital age. All right, everything going offline. All right, people that are stuck on their computers all day. All right, cell phones all day. They're not going to know what to do when the EMP strike attack comes. All right, and then when everything comes back online, hey, the whole old system is going to be done away. Everything's going to be done digitally. Okay, and that's where the believers are going to make their choice, aside from the rest of the people of the world who are actually going to conform to the new system. Which means they're going to take the device, man.
While the exact contents of the breach remain unclear, it's worth noting that the Peruvian government manages everything from passport and taxpayer registries to health insurance databases and police records. In fact, the threat actors described the data as exclusive, unique, and impressive, giving potential buyers a 7-day countdown to make a purchase. Think of it as cybercrime, but make it e-commerce. Details of this attack are still quite vague, but I will keep you updated as more details emerge. Following up on stories that need to be reheated in the micro.
Okay, so let's see this other, what was it, 429? See if we can slide down there. 429. It's just jumping right there.
This whole thing fade quietly remains to be seen. For now, I will keep my digital eyes on this corner of the internet. Let's return to the saga involving the alleged nations of Portugal and Spain. Last week, I reported on a massive blackout that brought both countries into literal darkness. While every human with a keyboard threw out a theory, official sources were still reluctant to share details. So, do we finally have a clear explanation? Of course not. We're dealing with humans, after all. But experts have managed to piece together a slightly more coherent narrative. The problem began in Spain, where various fluctuations hit the electrical grid. The first one was caused by several solar energy facilities disconnecting, which at the time of the incident happened to be the main source of energy in Spain. When that happened, France wisely stopped importing electricity from Spain, which only destabilized the grid further. To make things even more dramatic, a few nuclear power plants picked up overload signals and shut themselves off, causing the perfect storm for a blackout.
And if you were up to date on that, you know that a lot of people they were stuck like on their subway trains or stuff like that. So wherever they were, they had to walk. Man, imagine if you maybe they had a job that was in another city and they commute to work every day, and that train was their primary source. So maybe they went to a whole other city that might have been, I don't know, 30 minutes away. You had to find your way back home, which was by walking. All right. But then you had the issue with money, because if the bank, right, which transactions are done digitally, so if you don't have cash on hand and the bank is down, all right, people weren't able to use the ATMs to get money out because it was all down. So imagine a prolonged event like that happening in America, which is going to happen. But you know, imagine that. Oh, bear with me. Let me close this out right here. 2 seconds here. Close this live stream out. Okay, so yeah, imagine that happening here in Babylon, which is going to happen for a prolonged time period, where because aside from everyone else, especially dealing with America, people are always unsuspecting. They only care about what their little personal life is about, right? Whatever they got going on at the moment. Okay, so you have a blackout or an EMP strike or anything similar to that like what happened over there in Spain and Portugal. Okay, you have anything like that happen in America, and people are going to panic because that's what they usually do, and they're going to turn to the government as always to look for answers. They're never going to look towards the Bible or to the prophets. They're going to look towards the government for answers, right? And when that situation applies to Babylon, and it's that moment, like we just mentioned, the other side of that blackout is going to be that digital system. And because they've been looking towards their government for an answer, that's where you're going to get so much extra tension, because you're going to have people that just say, okay, all right, I've had enough. And that's what they want. These bankers want you to want them. So you can just conform to the system, smooth transition. But then you're going to have, the rebels, all right? Those are like, I don't know. I hear what you're saying, but I don't like this. I ain't putting no device in me. Not because they're people of the Lord, not because like because you have the 2/3 that are going to be with the heathens. It doesn't have to be an Israelite. It's just going to be the random regular people, Israelite, non-Israelite, who just are not going to want to put a device in them, and those people are going to be handled properly. Okay, but the main attraction is always going to be what? Okay, the faithful believers. All right, and the scriptures talk about in 2 Ezra 16. All right, still sparing those that not sparing. All right, those that fear the Lord, spoiling their houses and so on and so forth. Okay, coming down on them, which is going to begin really with the prophets, man, the men on the streets. Okay, getting them off the streets because it's the truth that's hurting them. All right, this gospel shall be preached into the four corners of the earth as a witness, and then the end shall come. And because this gospel is going out, Esau's end is coming, and they understand that. So their main objective is going to be to get them prophets off the street, man. Okay, so, and I'm not saying these events are going to happen around the same time. I was just giving a little scenario there. okay? Because there is going to be a famine of the word, and the true believers are going to be sought after, all right, by Esau, okay, as well as the regular Jake. But they're easier to deal with because they don't know what's going on, okay. So in the event, getting back on topic, an event, extreme blackout or EMP strike or whatever, Americans are going to panic. It's going to cause a lot of confusion. They're going to tell you, okay, call this number. That number's not going to work. They're going to tell you, okay, wait this amount of time. Okay, and then wait some more. And then wait till next week. And people are going to get tired of waiting because they got babies to feed. They got their jobs they worried about. They got this, that. They got their mortgage payment. All these different things they're going to worry about. And people are going to panic. And then they're going to rise up. All right, what scripture's talking about sedition amongst men. All right, they're going to rise up and take matters to their own hand. They're going to get food however they can and do whatever else, however they can. All right, it's going to cause mass hysteria in Babylon. And once again, that's what the elites want, because on the other side of that is what? Their digital system. That's going to be their answer. The digital system. All right, we see it coming a mile away. All right, but the regular people don't see it, okay?
Normally, the grid can handle a few tantrums, but this time the synchronization system failed, so instead of adapting, it just gave up and dropped everything. Of course, plenty of questions remain. And while I am not an electricity expert, it seems Spain isn't exactly brimming with them either. I'll keep reporting as the investigation continues. Hopefully...
That's pretty much it on him. I mean, I thought it'd be more to this video than what it is, but not really. But I'm glad he mentioned those two things there. I mean, we briefly, spoke about it because, once again, we're heading closer and closer to Jacob's trouble. So events like this are going to continue to happen, right? We're constantly, watching things that are happening as far as war and, so on and so forth. So, we'll call it a session. No need to force that one. All right. So, shalom.